Good evening, everyone. Welcome to closing comments here for June 30th. Let's jump right into our charts and see what happened in the market today. First up, got our August live cattle on the board. We continue to see this cattle market pull back after yesterday's initial breakdown to start off the week. Both live and feeder prices continue to lose some ground here today, but just a typical pullback here in a still bullish environment. We did see this August live contract trade all the way down there to briefly undercut 241 at the low of the day before finishing at 242 and a quarter. We still anticipate this market to be bought up here before this week is up. We should see this market continue to sell off. Just a nice, slow, steady pullback here. We got plenty of pockets of buyers down here in this multi-week range we spent trading in throughout late May, early June. We should see this market try and stabilize here. We want to see these daily ranges tighten up a little bit, kind of balance out and stabilize here before we really jump in front of this thing. We could still see a little bit of downside as this market continues to pull back down here towards 240. We should see plenty of support down into this area if we need it. We may still see some wider ranges here, so be patient, slow play this thing. We want to see this market stabilize before we jump on board to the long side. This market still should find some support, though. The bulls have a chance here to take another run up at that 250 level, so look for those bulls to try and get active here before this week is up. But just be patient here. We should see this thing kind of balance out, put in some tighter daily ranges, and give us a good opportunity to buy the dip and keep this cattle market moving higher. So just continue to be patient, and we'll continue to monitor the situation for better opportunities. If we look out here into these late 26 contract months, we continue to see these back months having a little bit more relative strength. Still seeing a little bit of a pullback here in this October and December contract, but both of these contract months still finishing back above that 50-day average, showing there's a little bit of strength there compared to this front month August contract. Look for these prices to continue to find support here before the rest of this week is up, and we should see these prices rebound and head back up towards those highs. Next up, August feeders on the board. This market also pulling back into the averages here today. This market opening up there right at 367, selling off all the way to a low of 361.5, testing that 50-day moving average from above. We still anticipate some support to step in and keep this feeder market held up. We are testing some of these major averages here, so this is going to be a good spot for those bulls to try and get some pushback. We need to see this market stabilize and put in some tighter daily ranges before we really commit. We still could see a little bit of downside down here towards 360, try and test some of these prior demand zones. But at the moment, we still anticipate those buyers to step in and support this market. Just want to slow play it and wait for this market to stabilize and tighten up a little bit here before we just jump in front of this thing, as we have seen some decent selling pressure in the last couple trading days. Continue to be patient here. We'll continue to monitor the situation and look for some better opportunities to be buying this dip, but we should see some support step into both live and feeder markets before this week is up and give us a chance to make another run up at those highs. Next up, got our corn futures on the board. We are seeing this corn market roll out of July and over into December now. This will be the new front month going forward. So the picture remains the same. The numbers have just changed up a little bit. So instead of 417 and 411 for our pivot points for the week, we got 446 and 439 on this December contract. We did see this corn market bounce a little bit here today. Some pretty heavy volume off of some new contract lows at 4.25 for this this December corn contract. A little bit of a bounce there. We should see this market run into some more resistance as we have these averages coming down on price. We are still a bit oversold here, so that's why it looks like we're getting a little bit of a bounce off of these extremely oversold conditions. We should see any sort of rallies here be selling opportunities, so look for the sellers to step back in and be active if we do get up here into the mid $4 range. Not really expecting a whole lot of upside in the near term. We should see these corn prices keep on drifting down there towards $4 like we're seeing in this July contract, briefly undercutting $4 yesterday. We should see this December contract also start heading down there towards $4 as well. Corn continues to keep getting cheaper and not a whole lot of upside expected. Look for these corn prices to keep bleeding lower. Next up, crude oil futures on the board here. We continue to see this crude market balance out here right around $70. Clearly getting pretty comfortable here. This is a good price point for this market. Not really expecting any major breaks. Any sort of rallies will be sold into. We should see plenty of resistance overhead if we do rally back up here into the high 70s, even low 80s. Not really expecting much upside there, so slow, steady bleed lower, kind of like what we've seen over the last 2 weeks, is expected to continue. Not really expecting big directional moves, just either slow, steady bleed lower, or just see this market just kind of get comfortable here around $70. We should see this crude market continue to bleed lower and just keep being pretty quiet. Not a whole lot of good opportunities here at the moment, so continue to just be patient, let this market fizzle out, and start looking for better opportunities elsewhere. Next up, equity markets seeing some nice rallies here across the board today. The S&P getting a nice pop above our bull pivot there in that 20-day average, rallying up to the high of the day at 75.67. Nice upside there as this market is seeing good support off this recent dip to that 50. We see the Nasdaq also pushing higher today. The Nasdaq pushing higher today, while the Dow just kind of balanced out. Not a whole lot of excitement here in this Dow index today, but still seeing good support here across these major indexes. A lot of these mega cap names still aren't trading above their averages, but just seeing a nice little bounce here off of some oversold conditions. We should see those prices continue to rally a little bit here in the near term, but it's going to take a little bit of work here to clean up some of the structure on these mega cap names and get some more traction back above those averages. In the meantime, wouldn't be surprised to see just kind of some choppy back and forth action here while these markets hang out up near these all-time highs. Still a lot of good places to be putting money. Just a good chunk, 33% of the S&P and the Nasdaq are all trading down, and 60% of that Nasdaq are all trading below their averages. So we just need to see those big pieces of the puzzle turn this thing back around, and once we should see pretty smooth sailing up into those all-time highs. We're not anticipating any sort of breakdowns here across these indexes. At worst, probably just seeing some choppy action here as these markets get comfortable up here near these all-time highs after this huge rally we saw here throughout the months of April and May. Look for this market to continue consolidating while those mega cap names clean up. There's a lot of good spots to still be putting money to work out there, so be selective and look for those places. But in the meantime, these indexes are going to try and get a little bit of upside here, but wouldn't be surprised to see some more choppy action. That's all we got for tonight. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Catch you guys tomorrow.